1 week, 7 days from when we are supposed to leave for Dragweek. Now, every year I leave at least a day late. This year, I'm hoping to really leave on time. There is a first time for everything.
Anyways, we were supposed to leave yesterday at 3 p.m. for a leisurely stroll to Ohio. It is now 7 a.m. the next day.
The car, it still runs. I'm changing the exhaust housings on it, and I relocated the upper radiator hose fitting so that I can clock the turbo a little bit more, so I can put a strut in there to hold on to it, which I didn't have, which is reckless. Just having the weight of the turbo on the end of the headers is like too much, because the turbos are heavy. So I made a strut for that. We're adding LED lights. The brake lights keep blowing the fuse, so I'm gonna replace that. I need to get the horn up and working. I need to reseal the oil pan and the intake. Put the diaper back on, put the transmission back in, get that all figured out. Fresh oil, fresh trans fluid. I'm moving from the John Deere High Guard, which I burned so bad that the fluid that came out of it, High Guard is 28 weight, which is pretty thick. You know, it's like motor oil. However, what came out of my transmission looked like water. It was so thin. So the car just pushed right through the converter, especially when it's 200 and plus degrees, when the fluid starts to boil. So I sent the converter out, got it redone, sent the trans out, had it redone. The trans actually looked pretty good, had a little bit of wear in the forward clutch pack. So they added, ProTrans added a extra clutch. So now it has 6 clutches in the forward clutch pack. And then the converter just got basic redo. I did a total revamp on the Dragweek trailer. All new skin, a reorg of all the stuff inside, which, I added a battery to it. I added LED lighting to it so that now it has lights on the doors. So when the doors are open, there's light coming down. So you have you can see around in your work area. And then I added LEDs to the roof of it, so it illuminates the inside, and then underneath the shelf, which illuminates that. I ended up making like a foot for the where the tongue slides in, it gets pinned in. When we put it in the big trailer, we take the tongue out. We put this now foot on the front of the trailer with a pad so that the trailer just sits there independently. It has no jack stand or anything, no sketchiness. We used to put a tire behind it, a drag slick, and squeeze and strap the whole box to the front of the trailer, which hasn't done the trailer any favors. So I put E-Track on the floor, and now I strap it down like it's a car. So it gets 4 straps with axle straps wrapped around the frame of it, and then we cinch it down to the floor just like you would a car, so it won't move. And then it won't tear up the trailer, and then the car will go right in the trailer like it normally would. And then, as if that's not enough stuff, I sold my motorhome and bought yet another motorhome, another used motorhome, a diesel pusher this time. It's got a 400 horse Cummins in it, which is really cool. It's a large custom motorhome. But anyways, I gotta fix an oil leak on it. Carpet's getting put in it tomorrow, and then I gotta install the couches because it didn't come with any, and have it aligned. And then that's all done. So let's get to work. buddy, Eric Snidowski. He is a pinstriper, and his Instagram is
Snick_01.
Okay.
Stripes by Snick.
Stripes by Snick. And this is what he does. Well, actually, he doesn't usually do signs or logos very often, but he was cool enough to come and do this to the trailer. This is all hand painted. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
appreciate it. I was gonna do a sticker, and he hit me up and said, "Hey, let me paint that." And I was like, "Oh hell yeah! I love hand painted stuff." So
Anything to save a sticker.
right on. And then, you know, Eric's a special guy to us, so to have him do this for me is actually extra bitchin'. So, anyways, that's Eric, pinstriper.
Are you junking them or just tossing them?
Yeah. Real good.
Got it?
run to the gas station because for whatever reason, the gas gauge says very empty all of a sudden. I was moving it around last night trying to hook up the trailer, and I do not want to run out of gas in this massive thing.
Okay. Here we are. Day late. Heading out in our new to us motorhome. Wish us luck. We only have like 2,200 miles to go. We're pulling out of our housing track right now. It's really tight here. And we don't know if it's going to make the turn.
Oh yeah, wow. It made it!
We're not there yet.
Almost. Holy cow.
There's the curb. Yeah.
Made
Yeah,
it?
we just barely took the curb.
Wow, this thing's
That's
huge.
tight. That was tight. Alright, well, anyways, now we're going to hit the gas station, put my life savings into the gas tank, and get on the road and grind out some miles.
Okay, that's a wrap. Driving for day one, it was a grind. We had to stop because we jumped the motorhome because the roads in California are so awesome that we're motoring along at like 70 and literally aired out this 35,000 pound motorhome. We only went 660 miles and we have 2,200 total, so that means we have another 1,600 miles to go. So we got to bust out like at least 800 tomorrow and at least 800 Saturday. But in that case, we will get there Saturday, so therefore we'll be on time. And we even got a late start this morning. We didn't really get on the road till almost 8 o'clock. And it's 10:30 now, and we're actually, the time zones keep moving, so we're losing time as it goes on. Anyways, makes for a long day. I'm really tired. Put in a long night last night trying to get everything together. Went to bed at 1 in the morning. The new RV's worked out. It motors along pretty good at 75 and gets 5.5 miles to the gallon. It is what it is. At least it's got a big tank, so you can drive it like 600 miles on a tank. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, and we're going to just get back at it tomorrow and start grinding. Good morning from New Mexico. We are about 100 miles east of Albuquerque, and we're on their time, so we got up a little early today, but it's, I don't know what, 6 a.m., a little after 6, and we're out on the road. We need to knock down a minimum of 800 miles because we have 1,600 left to get to Ohio. That's it from New Mexico. It's $2.99 a gallon. This is the first sub $3 diesel stop we've done to date. We're gonna check on the car real quick. Still tight. Yeah. Okay. That's good. I don't think it even touched the wall, which is good. That's what we're looking to do. Is the car still tight? Yep. And that is a wrap on day 2 of driving, right? Day 2. We stopped at the Big Texan, got ourselves a steak. Yep. You got a hamburger. Of course, you are the burger connoisseur. It took us 13 hours of actual drive time. We spent an hour messing around at the Big Texan and getting fuel, and an hour we got stuck. The freeway was closed, so we wasted 2 hours, and so we're right now at 15 hours total, so that means we have 13 hours of actual drive time. We're not done. We'll be having to do like 800 miles. We'll be having to do 800 miles tomorrow. 800? Yeah. 800 tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. We are going from the Red Roof Inn to National Trails Raceway. It is Saturday night, 10 o'clock, 10:30 maybe, and we are at National Trails Raceway. So we drove, I don't know, another 10 hours today. 725 miles to get here. So we're waiting in line to get in the track. We're here in with all the other motorhomes and trailers and stuff.
8 o'clock they're going to open the gates, and we're going to go pull the whole shebang into the track, and then we'll start prepping the car for tech. Is that all we want to talk about?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
And you're planning to go 7-0s.
I wish. If it goes 7s this week, I will be tickled pink. I'm going to go on record and say that. My goals for the week are to finish. Always, number 1 is to finish. Number 2 is to run in the 7s. And the goal is this week not be in a hurry. Last year and all the years before, I was in a hurry and overlooked some very small details that caused big problems. Hopefully this time everything works properly and we're able to put a 25-pound tune-up in it, maybe more, and go deep in the 170 mile an hour. Then that might equate to a 7-second pass. Being realistic, I don't think that this motor is capable of going very deep into the 7s, but I would like to see the W5 head go in the 7s before I go to the W8, which is coming soon. Anyways, I'm stoked to be here. Our new motorhome made it really without any kind of incident, I don't think, right? Don't show them how dirty it is. It's messy in here.
You said new motorhome, so you might as well show it.
Well, you know, you gotta clean up before you let the guests in, you know. So we made it here. It was 2,200 miles, a little over 2,200. We did it in 3 days. I don't feel very exhausted. I'm tired, but I don't feel like killer exhausted. The one thing for sure about Dragweek is stuff always pops up and you have to make decisions on the fly, and oftentimes those decisions are flawed.
Like you not going to the 7s.
Yes, and which I think we remedied that issue. However, I've done this enough to where I should really know what I'm doing, but I don't. 72 Vega.
So this is my 72 Chevy Vega GT. It's a 353-inch small block Chevy with two TO4B turbos blowing through a CSU carburetor. And so this Pizza Hut up top here, type device is
I don't know if anybody will get that reference anymore.
Well, probably not.
They don't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
Was it a Shakey's or was it Pizza Hut that looked like that?
It was Pizza Hut.
Was it?
Well, maybe it was Shakey's that turned into Pizza Hut. I don't know. But at any rate, so this is a water to air intercooler. So I have a
And this is Ford Power Stroke?
yeah
Diesel.
I'm a Chevy guy, so it's Duramax. Duramax.
Chevy Duramax. Oil cooler.
In the back, there's a 15-gallon tank that I put 20 pounds of ice in, pump ice water through the intercooler during a run. Within the tank, there's also a transmission cooler to keep the trans really cool so I can run less clutches in the transmission to try and make it more efficient and a little less drag in the car. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty standard stuff.
So
It's
a Power Glide? 9-inch?
It's a Power Glide transmission, 2-speed, standard 176 ratio. It's got a 9-inch Ford with 325 gears. It's a custom ladder bar rear suspension with stock wheel wells, hence the 26 by 8.5 slicks. So that's as big as will fit in a factory wheel well on a Vega. So no wheel wells, it's all steel car. The only fiberglass on it is the hood. So it's been as fast as 901 at 150 in the quarter last year, Dragweek 2023, and I'm hoping to average in the 8s, 899 with a 9 every day. I'll be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Or if I outrun my cert, I'll be really ecstatic.
Really ecstatic.
So it's only certed to 850, so.
So you've owned this car since 1993?
93.
Really? 93?
Yeah.
All right.
I drove this to college
That's pretty cool.
with a toolbox because it broke.
Standard issue. You built your own headers?
Yeah, built everything, all the fabrication on this car I did myself. I basically did everything except the paint and body.
It's got a home-built boost controller.
It's an MSD 7562 boost controller with a MSD 7531 programmable plus ignition. All the computer and wiring on this is all for data acquisition. So a friend of mine, Jeff Newton, designed a 30-channel data acquisition system. So we're running 30 channels on it this week. So we're kind of doing beta testing on it, make sure it works. We'll have everything. The only thing we are not going to have is front wheel speed because we killed the sensor yesterday. So we got some work to do on the drive shaft sensor this morning before we make a hit. But other than that, we should have 30 channels of data, including front shock, rear shock, drive shaft speed, intercooler, water outlet temp. We got charge temp on the turbos on the outlets. We got intake air temp so we can see efficiency. We've got a couple EGTs in it just for, why not? So, no laptop tuning, so it kind of adjusts itself. But mainly it's the biggest thing I need is the AFR, make sure it's good. But last year, ran flawless.
God help you if you have to change a jet.
Yes. Yes. I can do it.
So tell me more about the motor. So what block?
So the motor
Cubic
is
inch.
a World Products Motown block. It's 353 cubic inches. It's got an Eagle crank, Eagle rods, JE extreme duty pistons in it. The heads are just some old school 1991 era Dart 2 Sportsmans. It does have full T&D rockers on it. Pretty straightforward. It's got, I do have a custom cam motion solid roller cam in it with a Crowler rev kit. So I could pretty much rev this thing to whatever the crank will take. I shifted around 7,300. And the carburetor's CSU carburetor that I had Kevin over there do. I used to build my own carburetors, but he's been doing it forever. It's much easier just to have him do it, and it was flawless on Dragweek last year.
Yeah,
Cage is basically kind of a 10/12 point cage that I did in Chris's garage back when I was in college.
That's right.
Yeah, it's got
I forget
kind
about
of frame rails in the rear when we really thought we knew what we were doing and we were, thought we were cool. So just lots of wiring in here because of the data AC. But,
Yeah.
Pretty basic car, and it's got still has 9010 Lakewood drag shocks on the front from Super Shops, probably in 1989, and they're still good.
Yeah.
The rear, I killed I had old Howell Proactive coilovers last year. I killed one, So we put QA1 double adjustables on it for this year. I also last year twisted and bent the 9-inch. So I upgraded the 9-inch with a back brace, added a few other items to it. And then this year, just for a lot of the things we did this year was just efficiency in the pits, right? We were pitting a lot in the grass last year. Everything was getting wet, so I put the table on the top this year. So we get the table out, put all our gear on the table instead of getting all the tools and our clothes wet in the bags or the fire suit. So turned out really well, I think.
Nice. Okay, matching Convo Pros for the...
Yes, these are the
trailer.
original Convo Pros Chad had.
So that's day 0. Andy made one pass, had some issues with, I'm not even sure what his problem was. He went like a 930, I think it was. Yeah, oh, his boost controller wasn't on. The launch sequence, apparently you gotta lick your fingers, tap your hat, rub your elbow to get the thing to start working. To go through its launch sequence, which then allows the boost controller to do its thing, and it did it. It went made a pass on wastegate springs, which is supposed to be like 6 pounds, I think, but it has inadequate wastegate, so it crept to I think 16 pounds by the end of the run. So 934, it went left wheels up. So actually, that shows some promise. I think he will be getting in the 8s this week. As far as me, I made a pass. It felt really good. Everything worked. The car made a lot of power. It spun the tires pretty hard. About 10 feet out, once the boost ramp came in, it knocked the tire off. But that 33 105W is, I love that tire. It's a great tire. So for me, I think because the track was 90 degrees, I think what I'm gonna do is in the morning the track will be cooler, and I think it's going to hold the power, so I just left it. I did turn the boost down 3 pounds, which in an attempt to try and get my torque converter to work. Right now I have upwards of 20% slip, and there's not much I can do about it. We tried to find some ATI 50 weight trans fluid, which I'm going to call ATI in the morning. But it doesn't look good for me. I might have it by day 5. And if I do have it by day 5, I will probably put 4 or 5 quarts, drain it and put 4 or 5 quarts in it to try and hook up the torque converter better. And also I'm going to up the RPM to try and get the converter to couple better, which means shifting it higher and all that, which the motor doesn't like. But if I can get the converter to couple better, the car should go faster. It went at 828, 164, which is really down on mile an hour. It's really down on mile an hour in the 8th as well. It went at 530, 533, I think, at 133 in the 8th, which again, with a 129 60 foot, which would be a good indication of how hard it spun the tires. So I got my work cut out for me. I feel pretty good about the week. We start Dragweek tomorrow morning at 8.